Happy Hump Day, y'all.
Welcome to the That's So Lame podcast. I'm Casey.
I am Molly, and we have a special guest here today, our amazing sister, Whitney, sibling number 3.
Yay! Welcome, Whitney.
We are so excited to have her on the podcast today, and she is going to have a big old formal introduction. But first, let's give a little life update. What happened this weekend? What's going on, Casey?
This weekend, I actually had a girls' retreat. So we rented a little Airbnb in downtown Columbus and had a girls' weekend. We watched like a virtual conference, but we had a great time together. So we spent 2 days there and went out to dinner and just had a grand time. So that's about all my weekend entailed. What about yours?
That's fun. We went up north for a basketball tournament, and we ended up seeing some of Traverse City, which was on my Michigan bucket list. And we saw Torch Lake, which is beautiful. I sent y'all some pictures. It looks like the Caribbean, but it's a lake. It's wild.
Yeah, those pictures were gorgeous. Jared and I went to Canada to Niagara Falls, and we sat over and watched the lake for a little while. And I just was stunned. Like, it looks like a beach.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive, these big old lakes up here. And we were very lucky that they weren't frozen, because normally at this time of year, they're frozen solid.
Yes.
But cheers to the unseasonably warm weather. We have 70 degrees today, followed by thunderstorms this evening, followed by snow tomorrow. It's going to be
Welcome
great.
to the West.
So wild. So wild. Yeah, that was about all our weekend. It was just a busy but fun when we stayed in the hotel and like hung out late in the lobby with the other parents, and it was a grand old time. And now I'm like catching up on my lack of sleep this week.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Well then, without further ado, that was a great little wrap it up weekend update. Let's move on to sister number 3. Not third in importance, but third in birth order. She is very strong because she was slightly mistreated by me for the majority of her life. Let's reverse. Majority of her childhood. I am a really good sister now. Really good. Welcome, Whitney. We are so glad to have you here. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Yes, I am the third of the Lane OGs, which is kind of weird because I was kind of the baby, and then now I'm the middle. Josh kind of stole my thunder.
But I still consider you the baby.
You're the baby of the first family.
Baby of the first family.
Yeah.
Dad still treats you like the baby. Like you and Shelby, I think, get similar treatment as like baby girls.
Yeah, I do think so. But I have been the middle. I have been the middle longer than I've been the baby. So I don't know. It's like 50-50.
Do you identify as a middle child or a baby?
Both.
I will cut you. You did not get the mistreatment of a middle child your entire childhood. I did.
I think the stories we are about to hear on this podcast confirms that I did get mistreatment of a middle child. Mostly from the middle child.
I am a very pleasant human. Always was, always will be.
Just saying. Yeah. So yes, I'm the third or the middle, whichever you would like to, put me in category. I am married. I met my husband in 2014, and unlike my lovely siblings over here, I met him in the club, not at church. And then we didn't get married until 2019. Had our first little girl, Ellie, 2020, and now I am extremely pregnant with our second and last. I'm want to put that out there. It's the last. In 3 weeks, he is due. But we currently live in Bangkok, Thailand for my husband's work. He is military, so we're on the other side of the world as all of y'all, which is kind
So
of sad.
while we're recording at 9 a.m., Molly and I, Whitney is recording at 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Yes, I've already lived half of a day before you guys, so yeah, it's super odd. Timing is really weird. I have to like screen the times if I want to talk to you guys to make sure you're awake or yeah.
So I always keep my phone in do not disturb during my sleeping hours because I want you to be able to text. I want to wake
Yeah.
up to your text messages in the morning. But it is, thank God for technology.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because I would be lost because we literally are on the other side of the world. Ellie wakes up every morning and let's call Mommy and Papa. She FaceTimes them and it's their nighttime the day before but it's just fun to kind of have that connection. So it's a good thing to have. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We love it. It's fun. It's just hot. We don't get
Yeah, you don't
seasons
get the
anymore.
snow.
We get no seasons. Yeah.
Which
Hot and
I would take some of it right this minute.
Listen, this is a different kind of heat. If you experience this heat, it may not be a heat that you want to say you want to have.
Especially when you are 9 months pregnant.
Yes.
Oh,
I
look
don't
at
go
your
outside
cup. Your cup says oy vey.
all day.
Oy vey all day. And you are, I think, the only person who I know that uses that phrase on a very regular basis.
Very
Yes.
regular.
Casey
Very
actually
intense.
gave me this cup,
Aw.
and I
Yeah,
love
if
it.
someone said, oy vey, what do you think of? Whitney. 100%.
Well, now you can think of my 3-year-old child because she dropped something the other day and she goes, "Oy vey," and I went, "That's mine."
I mean, at least she didn't swear.
She does do that sometimes, and
Oh, yes, she does. It's really
yes,
cute when little kids swear,
I
though.
know.
And they're not mine.
I will say she did drop something on the floor the other day, and she couldn't get it, and she said, "Well, shit." I said, "Oh, okay, well, that's definitely my fault because that's my word." So,
Proper use of the word, Ellie.
I mean, she used it correctly, but she's a little sassy. She's a little
A little
sassy.
sassy. Where did she get that from?
I was actually thinking about that today, and I decided that she has Casey's strong-willed personality and your craziness.
I'm not crazy.
What exactly are we here to talk about? Or did we change the conversations? Because
I would say that is very debatable.
I think that Casey's strong-willed personality is very firstborn, and so is Ellie. And so you are raising a very strong firstborn child.
yes,
And also, according to the birth order book, since you're having a boy next, he will also have a lot of very strong firstborn characteristics. So you are in for a
good.
treat.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. She has a lot of sass, which I know she got from me. It's probably the only thing she got from me, saying that, she looks nothing like me, but she's got a lot of sass.
Well,
She
I
does.
think between you and Chris, she probably didn't stand a chance to have sass.
No, and I will say at my doctor's appointment this weekend, she did an ultrasound and pulled a 4D ultrasound and got a picture of the side of his face, and she said, "Yeah, this one's not going to look like you either." I said, "Yeah, he looks just like Ellie's ultrasound, so which means she
Aww.
looks just like Daddy." So
Wow,
that's all
he's
right.
going to be adorable.
I
Good
hope
thing
so.
Chris looks good.
I know, right? He's a decent looking guy.
Yes. Well, this episode of the podcast is going to be about our childhood, our sibling dynamic, and all the in-betweens. And I think that we have a few stories we could tell, some fun stories. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I have some good stories that I can tell to throw you suckers under the bus.
Do you?
We had a very good childhood, a very non-traditional childhood, and
Yes.
we are all incredibly close. And I think that's because of the way we were raised, because we were homeschooled, because we were together literally 24
All
hours
the
a day,
time.
all the time. So I do like it though, because I feel like my siblings are my best friends and I love y'all so much. So this is exciting to have everyone, well, the three of us here together, the OG Lane crew.
Yeah.
The Josh and Shelby obviously are precious and dear to our hearts, but they are what would we call them?
The
The
new
second set of
additions.
siblings? The
Yeah.
Yeah,
new
the
bitches.
OG, the caboose.
The caboose. Yes, the
Yeah.
caboose baby. But yes, our childhood. Who does anyone have a story that they want to tell? Do you want me to start? What are we talking about?
We're talking about sibling shenanigans. So, just funny stories from
There
our
are
childhood. You start, Molly. You
Yeah,
start
you
this week.
start. You go ahead.
there's a lot of sibling shenanigans. One of the most memorable things that I can think of as a kid with the three of us. I feel like I have a lot of memories, like once Josh and Shelby were born too. But the three of us, like early on, I remember riding in Dad's company car. I think it was a Taurus, a Ford Taurus. Isn't that what he always used to get?
Yeah, I think so.
And we were riding down the road. We used to go to Granny's house like every single weekend. And Whitney freaking choked on a chicken nugget and she starts puking in the back of the car. And Casey saw the puking and started puking. And Dad pulled the car over. Mom jerks me out onto the side of the highway. Do not puke. I was like, I wasn't gonna. But I was in the middle of two pukers because I am the middle child and I was mistreated and had to sit in the middle on the hump, even though my butt was bigger than yours, Whitney. You should have been on the hump. See, okay, there we go. I'm going to tally mark. Molly was mistreated. Ding, one.
One for Molly.
One for Molly. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
All right. Casey,
And
would you like a
I
point?
remember that story of Whitney sitting in the middle, but I could have been wrong.
Yeah, I thought I was sitting in the middle.
No, you were definitely wrong. Definitely wrong because I had to go over the top of vomit to get out of the car.
Well, Casey's never been good with vomit. She's a sympathetic vomiter.
That
All
is
I need to
accurate.
hear is the gag, and I am done for.
I think
Yeah.
everyone's turned off our podcast. They're like, nope, don't want to hear about puke today.
You've gotten better the more kids
I
you've
have.
had.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to get better. You can't just throw the kids in a bathroom and be like, good luck.
Like you did me. I will
Yeah.
tell that story. I do remember this story. I was probably 8 and I got violently ill. I don't know why, but we had one of those very 90s style bathrooms where the toilet, closed off and then it had the long hallway out to the main hallway. And I was just in there. I was so sick. And here comes Casey through the hallway, sticks her head in the door. She goes, "Are you dying?" I was like, "No, I'm just really sick." She's like, "Do you need any help?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Okay, good luck with that." And throws me a towel and walked away.
Oh my gosh. Where was I? I would have helped you.
It was
You
in
were
the middle
probably
of the
still
night.
sleeping.
You were probably asleep. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this when
It's
Mom
okay.
and Dad were traveling or something?
Probably,
No, I think
or
because
maybe.
our
Oh,
room
they were on the.
our rooms were on the other side of the house, I think.
Yeah, they were kind of far away, and so yeah, I got no help from Casey, and
Oh,
that broke my heart
I'm,
a little bit.
I'm
But
really sorry. Hey, at least she came in and asked. It would have been
Right.
better had she gone to get our mother, maybe. Like, hey, Mom,
yeah,
there's a kid sick back here.
I kind of thought that's what she was doing, but then I just heard the door to her bedroom close back, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess
No
that's
help
where we're
ever
going."
arrived.
Yeah, no one ever came to save me.
Was that in Pensacola when we had, remember the bathroom walls? We painted them royal blue and then we smushed Walmart bags on them.
Yes,
Was that like a thing? We made it all crinkly.
yeah, it was a thing. It was like the style.
And I remember Dad being so mad. He was like, "This house is never going to sell. This bathroom,
Mhm.
it looks hideous." And remember when the people bought it, they wanted to leave it.
Yes.
It looked so good.
But there was one section where somebody accidentally didn't turn the Walmart paper inside out, and so
Correct way.
the smiley
Smiley
face from
face.
Walmart was on the wall, and we kind of tried to cover it up, but it just didn't work at all.
Oh my gosh, Casey, were you still there when we did that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember you participating.
I
You
don't
got out
remember participating, but I remember the bathroom well. You couldn't forget it.
started working and you convinced Mom and Dad that you didn't have to do any more chores in the house. And that was so
Mhm.
annoying because you were still messy, you still ate, you still dirty
Yeah.
dishes, and you didn't have to do squat. It made me so mad.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
I do
she-
remember coming home and vacuuming every day, so I must have been doing something.
That was
Up
just your
until a
OCD.
point. Oh, that was probably just your OCD.
Yeah.
But we did have their daily, weekly, and monthly chores. And I remember I had setting and clearing the table for the longest time. And I complained about it every day. And then Mom just made me keep doing it longer and longer until I shut up and stopped complaining about it.
It was a hard lesson to learn, Molly.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I still live in Michigan because I complain about the cold every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
God's like,
Mhm.
Oh man.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
a good little, and we shared a room, Whitney. We shared a room like our whole lives.
Majority of our childhoods. Yes, it was a struggle.
It was so fun.
It, yeah. Okay. It,
Did you have poetry taped over your bed on the ceiling too?
no, I did not, but I did
Oh,
have tape down the middle of my room.
that wasn't tape.
What else do you call it? It stuck to the floor.
It was like decorative. It was decorative. It had flowers on it.
It was
Okay,
still tape.
It was still tape.
Okay, fine. It was like some pretty scrapbooking stuff though. It looked pretty. It was a good divider.
Moral of the story is Molly got mad at me because I did not keep my side of the room the way that she wanted it to. So she
Facts.
taped off our rooms and said, "You cannot come onto my side of the room." Unfortunately, my side of the room was on the side of the room that the door was not on.
It was like your own little baby prison.
Yeah, I had to ask permission every time I wanted to leave or enter the room. And because we shared a room, we also shared a closet, and she did not like the way that Casey kept her clothes or took care of them or the lack thereof. And so she put a padlock on our closet door. So then I also had to ask permission to get into our closet just to get dressed in the morning.
I never
anytime.
denied you entrance to the closet though. Only Casey.
I mean, it would have been nice if I had a key to my own clothes.
In hindsight, I think it was just a code. I could have just given you the code. I'm sorry about that, but Casey deserved it. That girl was not kind to my clothing. And the other day, she tried to act like she always is so neat and clean. No. She used to throw my clothes in piles on the floor, and that is why I had to lock it up because my clothes are precious to me. They are precious.
When heaven forbid I spent any money on my own clothes. I was way too cheap for that. I just wanted to wear all of yours.
You just wanted to wear all my clothes, and I
Yeah.
had a job making way less than you. I was folding T-shirts at 10 cents a shirt.
I had to buy a car, girlfriend.
That was a nice car. You did give us some rides sometimes.
I did.
Yes.
See, you take me for granted.
You took my clothes for granted. You used and abused my clothing.
I definitely did. I mean, it's really bad for clothes to lay in a pile.
Then they're all wrinkled and you didn't wash them. Then you just return them a wrinkly mess. And so I would have to go in there and get them. I had to save them from the pile.
I'm sorry.
Try to bring them back to life. And I had a calendar of everything I wore and I never repeated the same outfit in 1 month calendar.
You did.
Do you want to know something fun? I still have them. They're in the basement.
Oh my gosh.
Molly.
That surprised me.
They're in my box of stuff. It says Molly's crap on it. That's what Billy labeled the box. Molly's crap. I don't know. One day I'm going to want to look back. You know what, though? If I had half the clothes I wore in that phase of life, I would be so stylish right
You would
now.
be very in style, yes.
Sports, overalls, Doc Martens, which I still have the Doc Martens. But like, man, why did I get rid of all those overalls? Dang it.
A lot of the things are coming back in style that we wore when we were like 10, 12, 14, in that range, and it scares me. I don't even like to look at them at all.
I like a lot of it. It makes me feel young again. But with a mom pooch and gray hair.
Yeah, it makes me feel old because I was like, I wore this over 20 years ago.
It is wild how long ago that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are certain things I like and certain things I don't like. Like, I love the wide leg jeans, but I hate the socks with the dresses. They're horrible. And Mary Jane's. Maybe I'll jump on that bandwagon. Although this weekend at that conference, somebody wore like jeans with a denim shirt, and I was like, I love this. It's so cute. Like, all the denim is coming back.
Yeah.
Canadian tuxedo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss wearing denim. I don't wear denim here. There's like 2 weeks out of the year that I can wear jeans, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because they sweat to death.
Yeah, you can't. It's so hot you can't even get them on.
Maybe a wide leg would be good. Some airflow in there.
Chris says that wide leg pants make me look like I'm Oompa Loompa because I'm so short.
How kind of him. You need to pair them, get a little bit cropped and pair them with a heel.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't wear a lot of heels here. Well, I mean, obviously for the last 9 months, I haven't really worn heels because I'm massive.
You're pregnant, not massive.
But the sidewalks are a little questionable. So heels are not the most safe item to wear out
Fair
and about
enough.
here. Yeah. So.
Fair enough.
Well, I have a good story.
All right.
About Molly and Whitney.
Okay.
Oh Lord, I thought I was safe from this.
You what?
I thought I was safe from this one.
Oh no. So when I was probably like 16, I was always very modest. I didn't like anyone seeing me, even in my bra and underwear or anything like that. So I would always go into my room directly after my shower, close the door, get dressed, everything. So Molly and Whitney thought it would be a good idea to hide in my closet while I was in the shower. When I got out of the shower, I walk into my bedroom. As soon as I drop my towel, they bust out of the closet doors.
We were just trying to loosen you up a little bit. You were so uptight.
I was mortified.
You were.
I would like to clarify, you say Molly and Whitney decided. It was really more Molly decided, and Molly was like, you're going with me. That's really more what happened.
You have a choice in the matter.
You really didn't.
I really didn't.
I probably shoved her in there with the duct tape that I used on the floor.
Probably did. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was trying to help you. It was for your own good.
You were.
Did it work?
What?
I said, did it work?
Did it work? That's a question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You did go through like a very uptight like stage in your life around 16, 17, where like if your collarbone was showing, you were like, ah! Yeah. I don't know.
It was kind of like a pearl clutching teenager.
Yeah. But I feel like it only lasted for a couple of years, and then
And then we jumped out of her closet and it broke it off of her.
we saved you. We
saved you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. See, I'm not all bad.
You're not all bad.
Well, then I would like to add a story to this, if you want to say you're not all bad.
Why is this turning into the Bash Molly podcast?
Because you were always at the head of the shenanigans.
You were the instigator.
You are the instigator. Well, I guess Shelby may be the new instigator, but then you were.
Okay, fine.
So, since we did share a room majority of our childhood, and we were the weird homeschool kids that got done with school at like 12 o'clock,
We
we
weren't
did.
weird.
Then back then we were considered weird.
We
Homeschool
weren't
wasn't
weird.
really.
We had a lot of friends who were also homeschooled, but we weren't
Yeah,
weird. Like we had friends that weren't homeschooled too, and nobody thought we were weird.
yeah, that's true. Okay.
Maybe.
All right. We were the homeschool family that got done with school at like 12 o'clock. And so we played a lot of games. We played outside a lot and we played a lot of games. But Molly has never been a good loser. She's a very poor loser. And when she would lose a game, she would put her retainers in, like, and not the like new type of retainers that they have now that like you can't see them, the big chunky plastic retainers. She would put her retainers in and bite me. And not at like a cute like toddler like, oh, she bit her. No, she was like 14.
I'm sorry.
She would bite me. And then if I tried to run, she would literally like make me sit there and let me bite her. Like,
What games were we playing when I did this? Because I really think I blocked out this childhood memory, but it's kind of coming back. Like I feel like it's back there a little. But what were we playing?
it was mostly like Phase 10,
Oh, I
and
do love Phase 10.
we did used to play Monopoly, and you would literally like throw the board up in the air and all the pieces would fly everywhere.
No.
If you didn't
We're
win.
having fun.
Have you played anything with me lately? Because I'm seriously not that competitive at all anymore. Like I could care less. I just love having fun. You think?
No. Well, I haven't played any games with you lately. I feel like the last few times that we've like all been together, we've all just been kind of drunk.
I would never bite you right now. As a 39-year-old woman, I would not even consider biting you. So look how far I've come.
You've come so far. You've come so far.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
This went on probably from like age 10-ish to 16-ish, I would say.
I made some poor choices during that phase of my life. I also remember when I got in the high chair at church, like also not as a toddler, as a teenager, and I got stuck.
And they had to saw you out. Like the fire department came in.
Apart the whole thing.
Wait, did they actually saw that high chair?
No, they didn't saw
Yes,
it. They had to use tool. Did they saw it? I
They
know
had
that
to
they took it
saw
apart.
it.
The chair was completely ruined. They had to take it apart to get me out.
They sawed the front two pieces, like the front piece that keeps the kid in. They sawed that out so they could kind of like slide her out of it.
Oh my god.
That's the moment I knew thick thighs don't save lives.
I know.
That's what was holding me in, is these thighs. They slid right in, but then woo, they got stuck.
Okay, how old were you?
Oh my gosh, I had to have been
14?
13.
Yeah. Did somebody dare you to do that? Or
Probably. Let's blame someone else for daring me.
I feel like she wasn't there. She was just like, oh, I'm going to get in this high
let
chair.
me see if I can get in my chair. Yeah.
It was in the middle of church, too.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh my
I think
gosh.
that's also the time that Dad realized that we never stayed in the sanctuary during his sermons.
Yeah.
Because you got
I stayed in the sanctuary. I was the aisle person looking at other people to make sure they were behaving during church.
Oh my gosh.
well, obviously you weren't behaving. You were stuck in a high chair.
I behaved a lot of times.
You were quite the role model, Molly.
Mm-hmm. You were. But
We sang in the band. We were paying attention then.
We
Yes.
did.
I don't know if people know this fun fact, but we did sing in a kids church band and we
Mm-hmm.
traveled the world. We traveled all over the US in a bus, like legit professional touring artist. We flew to London. We were
Mm-hmm.
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Pretty
we were.
awesome. It was actually a really cool part of childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
Very cool. And something that homeschooling allowed us to do was to travel all over
Yeah.
with our band, with our dad driving the bus. It was fun. It's good times.
It was good times.
Yeah.
We were pretty cool, we thought.
We were
Don't Google us though, because you might not be happy with what you find.
Yeah, no, don't go like searching for it because yeah,
There are CDs out there somewhere.
There are CDs.
there's
They were
four of
sold at
them.
Family Christian Bookstore. What was that place
Yes.
called? Is that a place that's still in business?
Yeah,
I don't.
I believe so.
One
Family
of the big bookstores went out of business, I thought, but maybe they're still around somewhere.
Huh. Maybe they are.
I feel like I saw one last time I was in the States, which I was shocked by. Very shocked.
I'm gonna get out the Google.
Well, while she is doing that, I just want to talk a little bit about how we hit on this at the very beginning, but how close we are, and kind of some of the things that we do that help us stay close, especially with Whitney all the way on the other side of the world. But
Yeah.
I think things like this, we have our Marco Polo chats. We love that.
That is an amazing app, like to stay connected with people in general, your friends. I have a lot of friends that live all over the country. I know y'all have moved a lot too. So just keeping up with people, keeping the connections as a priority and not letting them slip is really important. And I think if you don't prioritize, it would be easy to fall out of a close relationship with you because it does take work to look at the time and figure out what time is it at Whitney's.
Mm-hmm.
But we have prioritized that, and I think that's really special and important.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned a while ago, like how close we all are, even with the age difference between you and Shelby and, you know, y'all and Josh and me and Shelby and Josh. We've still been very close. And I think like Molly said, it's changed over time with each person. It was like, obviously you guys got married young and started having kids young, and I, you know, had a little party time and waited until I was old to have kids. So, but we got to still experience those things together, just like at different stages of life. And then you've got, you know, Shelby and Michael that are coming through that are the newlyweds, and, you know, Josh is doing whatever Josh does, you know.
Poor Josh. Josh,
We're gonna have Josh on here soon.
we are, because he's already griping and complaining about not being invited on the podcast. I'm like, no one has been on yet.
No,
Everyone's coming on.
Our first guest is Nani. Whitney also goes by Nani.
Nani. I'm a Nani. I'm
lovingly
Nani.
given by my children.
Yes.
Yes. Casey's kids named her Nani.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is special. It is pretty cool. And now even Casey's oldest is pretty close in age to our youngest sibling. And the whole dynamic is just fun. Really fun.
Yes. Yeah. They're so cute. They're like going on a triple date shortly. Shelby and Michael and Jaden and his girlfriend.
Aww.
And another little couple. They're going on a date to
Oh my gosh.
some restaurant or whatever. But it's just so weird that, you know, that age difference. There's 16 years between me and Shelby. So my kids are actually closer in age to Shelby than I am to Shelby.
Yeah.
And like Jaden's kids and Shelby's kids could be like growing up together in the same school together. Like, isn't that wild to think about?
That would be wild. That would be
It'd be
wild.
so fun though. Like your best friend is your aunt. Is that how that would work?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Huh.
I mean, when I moved to Ohio, when Casey dragged me to Ohio, and I distinctly remember we were sitting in your first living room in the first house that you guys lived in there, And the boys were young. They were like, I don't think Owen was even born at that time. Was he? No, he was born. But your older two boys were young. And they were in the high school, like starting high school party kind of thing. And I distinctly remember Jared saying, you know, if you guys go to a party and there's alcohol and something happens, like, we want you guys to know that you can call us, yada, yada. And he's like, so who are you going to call when something happens? And they both go, Nani. We're calling Nani. Yeah, we're calling Nani. We're not calling y'all.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Not
So,
to
Thankfully, they never had to call Nani or mom and
No.
dad as of yet.
no,
they're good boys with good heads on their shoulders.
They are.
you guys all have good kids. And this is the only thing that makes me sad about having kids later on in life, because my kids didn't get the experience to kind of like grow up with your kids. That's why I told Shelby she needs to like hurry up, but then also at the same time, she needs to wait. But, you know, my kids are just kind of hanging out here. So y'all have to pick up the second mom, because it's girl
Well, you're
tired.
going to have to move to the other side of the world so we can babysit.
I'm trying to get closer.
By the time though that you're back, then like my youngest ones will be like wanting to babysit for your kids, and
Yeah.
Avery is going to be like you were to Casey's kids, yours. So like it'll always be a cool dynamic with all the different ages.
Yeah.
I like the big family and all the people, all the kids. It's like really, really fun and really loud when we all get together. And I think it overwhelms all of our husbands a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
SOS. I love Jared's always like, I'm socialed out.
Yeah. It's like, I can't do
Walk
people
away.
anymore.
Yeah. He's very honest about his feelings. Too much socialization. Peace.
Yeah. Chris too, he gets to like his sleepy point and he's like, yep, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I can usually get one night out of him that he'll go out with everybody and stay out past like midnight. Otherwise, that 9-10 o'clock mark, it's about all I get. He's like, y'all are too loud. Y'all are too close. It's just weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm going to bed.
Jared actually got upset at me. We actually had a fight about this. I like declined an invitation one night to do something because we were already doing something the next night. And I was like, you know, we're already doing something the next night. Like, you know how Jared is, he's like social out. And he was like, I can't believe that you did that. You're always throwing me under the bus of being the socialed out one. And I'm like, literally everyone knows this about you. Like,
This is not a secret. No.
Yeah, Billy always.
It's all on me that people know that you're not social. It's okay. It's okay to not be social.
Yeah. Yeah, Billy does the same thing. He's like, why do you always act like I'm the one? I'm like, because that's your personality. Like, you would rather be home on the couch, and I would rather be into club. Like, it's okay. We just need to, like, each give each other what we need sometimes, but not all the time. You have to, it's a balancing act.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like Billy's 50-50 though. Like 50% of the time he's kind of like Jared, where he's like, no, I'm done. I'm going. And then 50% of the time he's kind of like, I guess I'll just kind of hang out and work my way through it a little bit.
Yeah. Once he gets somewhere, he almost always has a good time.
Yeah.
But he's got to get a little motivation to get there typically.
Gotta get there.
Typically.
Oh, these poor guys.
Well, I'm glad that all of our husbands get along and they actually enjoy, I think, hanging out with each other.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is good.
They're all kind of a hot mess, so it's fine.
Who else has any more childhood stories to tell? I feel like there was more that I wanted to talk about. And now I'm drawing a blank. It's probably because I was just so well behaved. Such a good sister.
I think I blocked a lot of mine out because most of the time that I got in trouble for something, it was because Molly just automatically said, Whitney did it too.
Oh, like the time that you guys got in trouble for jumping on the bed at the hotel?
Yeah.
That was so
Yes.
fun. That was worth.
Was
This is
it?
what you have to decide. Is it worth getting in trouble for? And the answer to that was hell yeah, it was. That was a good time.
But it was worth it for you. But Casey and I were just sitting on the beds. So it wasn't worth it for us to get in trouble. You just drug me. Why not Casey? You drugged me under the bed.
Because Casey doing something bad was never believable. Like no one would believe that Casey did something bad.
This
I was
is
really
true.
wild.
I
This
could
is true.
still convince
Yeah.
people that you were being bad with me because I don't want to be in trouble alone. Like I really am a social person. I want to be with people. So like, let's have fun and then let's get in trouble together. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Those beds in that hotel room were vibrating. It was the coolest thing. Who does not want to jump all over a vibrating bed as a child?
Well, on top of that, our grandmother was taking
Yes.
care of us. So you were being a little hellion with our poor tiny nanny trying to take care of us.
Oh, please. She was a hellion too, and I was her favorite.
You were her
really were.
favorite. But
I think that's the first time y'all admitted that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was
until
a favorite.
later in her life, when I took care of her,
You don't
then
need
I
to
became her favorite.
Then you were the favorite.
Yeah. But
I was always the favorite.
at this point that you were jumping on the bed and being a hellion, she was getting up there in years, and you were pushing her a little hard.
Yeah, but she loved it. She loved it. She was just upset that she couldn't be jumping on the bed too. That's why she got me in trouble. Naza wanted it on the party. You know Naza was a partier.
She was.
That's why I was her favorite, because I'm always down to have a good time.
Yeah.
Even if I get in trouble. That was really fun. She had a like a paint stick with a pillow on the end of it. She used to spank me with it. It's a pillow.
No, that was Caroline.
No, Naza had that too then, because I remember Naza had it, and she used to tell mom and dad, "Don't worry, I spanked her," but it was a pillow.
With a pillow.
Yeah. It was like a little heart shape. Like, boop, boop. Oh yeah,
Oh, Granny.
that was really fun. I wonder if that hotel is still there and if it still has vibrating beds.
Let's hope not.
I would
It
hope
was-
not, because that was a long time ago.
It was pretty gross back then.
I was just about to say, like, I feel like even at that point in time, even a hotel with vibrating beds would have been
A little suspect.
It was the days in Pensacola Bayou.
nice.
I'm pretty sure that hotel was a rent by the hour kind of place. Then
Then why were we there?
it was
I don't
probably the
know.
only place we could find.
I think Dad's job that he was interviewing for put us up there.
Oh. Maybe it was a last resort. We'll give him the
We had
benefit of the
to have
doubt.
had adjoining rooms. We had 2 rooms. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Because Naz was there with us. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Whitney and I had to stay in the room by ourselves when we got in trouble that time.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was really a punishment.
That was no, because then we could watch Passions on TV.
You were so obsessed with this show that we were not allowed to watch.
Obsessed. I loved that show. I loved it. Casey, did you ever know that I watched that show?
I think I did know.
Did you ever know that she forced me to watch it with her?
You claim a lot of forceful things, but there had to have been some part of free will on your end.
Really?
I mean, I was never that big or that strong. Am I really just dragging along this child with me to do everything?
I mean, Molly, you used to open our Christmas presents on Christmas Eve and come into our rooms and tell us what we got.
Did I really
And then-
open them, or I just told you the big things that were sitting out?
You definitely told us the big things that were sitting out, but I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of like tapage peeling going on.
I mean, I don't put it past myself, but I never got a bike, so you have to feel a little for me. Molly was mistreated too. Bing!
Molly, how many bikes do you own now?
Just one.
I don't have a bike, so
Cry me a river. You got this cool Japanese bike for Christmas, and I didn't get one. And you got another bike with pom poms on the handle at a different point in childhood, and I didn't get one.
well, did you ask for a bike?
No, but that's beside the point. I never got a bike.
Molly's currently going to therapy for the bicycle that she never asked for but never got.
This is part of the Enneagram 9 people pleaser in me. I don't ask for things I need, and then I feel sad when my needs aren't met. I'm a great time to be married to, trust. I did get an air compressor one year that y'all both got bikes. I got an air compressor, which is what I asked for.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got married, what?
What did you do with the air compressor? You were
Airbrushing.
Oh yes,
Airbrush painting, and I was doing like graffiti art basically.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got married and I moved out of the house, Mom and Dad gave me the actual paint compressor thingy that paints, but they still have my air compressor to this day.
Well, you better go get it.
I should go get it. I don't have any need for it, but I should just get it out of spite.
To put in
Mom
storage.
and Dad did buy me a bike 2 years ago.
Mm.
2 years ago. They bought it. There was some kind of mix up at Walmart, and then they ended up getting this pink kid's bike and saying it was a gift for me. But we donated it. We donated it to kids in need.
Oh,
So I guess
sweet.
I did actually get a bike. I just gave it away because of my huge, huge heart.
Mom and Dad got you that bike because they're sick of listening to you. They just wanted you to shut up.
Every year we're like, where's my bike?
Yes.
I
Oh,
really
my
did
Lord.
do that on Christmas. I'm sorry. I also ruined every single Easter picture that
Oh
we
my
Yes, you
ever
did.
took because
Yes,
my
you
hair
did.
was so ugly. Why did Mom let me put my hair in those sponge rollers every
Because
year?
you asked for them every year.
I wanted curly hair. I mean, my hair was full on curly this morning, and look at it. I haven't even been outside, and it's straight as a board. I should not even try. I don't know. But yeah, my hair was always ugly, and so I had to pout in the pictures.
Every
Every single
Easter.
one. And
Yeah.
I would really like this podcast picture on Instagram to be an Easter picture.
Yeah,
of
we're definitely
you,
gonna find her.
of Casey and I on each side smiling like we're supposed to, and you pouting, or the one where you storming off in the background with your curly hair.
None of them would be hard to find because it's every year. Every year. The first year I moved out from home, I sent Mom and Dad on Easter Sunday just a picture of me standing there pouting. Here's your Easter picture. Molly's pouting.
Oh, Molly.
You know what? I'm sorry if I ruined your childhood, but I would say that I made it more fun.
You definitely
You-
gave us the memories.
Yes. You kept it interesting. I have a lot of secrets. I kept a lot of secrets as a child that were yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
are those shareable on the podcast?
Oh, like when you climbed out of a window in England, a hotel window in England, and made me stand watch in your bedroom so that you could go kiss a boy. I
got
never,
spanked for that.
but it wasn't me that told. Somebody else told on you. So
I got spanked. That was
I did.
traumatizing.
I did keep a lot of secrets. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're welcome for being so fun. I don't know what to say. I bring the party.
You do.
Okay.
So Casey, which one of your children is the Molly of your family?
I don't really have an instigator necessarily, but I would say Evan is probably my good time kid.
Mm-hmm.
He likes a good time.
Evan, I have always felt a kindred spirit to Evan, and he looks more like my child than your child anyway.
He definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he was always my wild child as a little boy too, and I always said Evan will help Jaden have a good time in life, and Jaden will keep Evan out of jail.
That's probably a good yin and yang.
Yeah.
Callan and Cooper are a lot like that. Cooper is very much a rule follower, and Callan is more of a free spirit.
I
Yeah.
think it's a second child trait.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
neither,
also,
I mean, Evan's not bad or anything. He just
no,
likes fun.
likes
I
to have a
was
good
never
time.
a bad kid either. I was a good time, fun having, but I was never bad. Like I never ran out of the house. I never went to jail. I didn't drink or smoke or like party as a kid. Like I was like a fun having kid, but I was never a bad kid.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
I was
None
bad
of
in
us
mom and
were.
dad's eyes because they had high standards. But in normal standard families, I was very, very good, above reproach, I would say.
To Christian homeschool families, we were the worst. But to normal everyday life families, we were angels, or
Yeah.
close to it, I would say.
I bet that people who haven't heard from me or seen me or whatever, like from childhood, see me on Facebook and are shocked that I am normal. I would imagine.
That's always my favorite response to I was homeschooled, and it always blows my mind. And I know that my face just, I don't know what happens to my face. My face speaks before my mouth does. And people always say, "Oh, well, that's so crazy. You're not socially awkward at all." What do you want me to say to that? Like,
Yes, I am. Go away.
you went to public school and you're not socially awkward at all. I mean, like, how do you respond to that?
Well, I think that
Okay.
homeschool kids can be socially awkward because they're usually not allowed to have like technology and
Yeah.
devices and stuff. And if you don't put your kids into a lot of social environments, then you don't develop those skills. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's completely abnormal, but we were in a homeschool group with like 400 other kids. We were in church every day in the band with other kids. So we did grow up in a much more social way than most
Yeah.
homeschoolers, I would
I
say.
played sports. I played sports in like the little leagues, through churches and through like the local communities and stuff. I played sports all through most of schooling.
I did
Well, I
not.
think homeschooling in general has changed so much now compared to what it was when we were younger too.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's so much more of it, but we should definitely do a homeschool podcast one day.
We
We
should.
should. We should. That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, girls,
Yeah.
I think we should probably wrap it up.
Wrap it. There was more coming there, and I decided, no, why does it need to come out of your mouth? Just stop.
Thank you, Whitney, for joining us today.
Thank you for
And
having me.
So fun. Even though y'all just bashed on me the whole time, I'm a good person.
We didn't bash on you. It was a loving reliving of our childhood.
You made our childhood lively.
I did. I truly did. And for that, y'all should forever be grateful.
We are. We are.
I love y'all so much.
I love you too.
Thank you, Whitney, yes, for joining us because this was really fun to chat it up,
It was
to
fun.
relive the good times. Sorry for biting you.
It's fine. It made me who I am today. It's okay.
Exactly.
Made me strong.
There's the positivity. All right. Well, we hope that y'all enjoyed this episode of Sibling Shenanigans with the That's So Lane podcast and the Lane Sisters.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.